A family is vacationing on their yacht in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. The mother, Julia, jumps into the water for a swim. While relaxing, she feels something strange, but because nothing is visible around, she thinks it must be her imagination. A few seconds later, the same strange feeling happens again. This time, too, nothing is visible. But now she gets scared and starts swimming towards the yacht. Just then, someone suddenly starts pulling her leg, and she begins to scream loudly for help. Her daughter, Cassie, is listening to music with headphones on, so she hears nothing. The husband, Tom, and son, Ben, are busy fishing. Julia tries to stay above the water, but with water going into her mouth, it becomes difficult to scream. After a while, Tom realizes that he hasn't seen Julia for quite some time. He looks for her on the yacht, and then sees his wife in danger. He calls the children. He steers the yacht towards her and jumps into the water. Reaching Julia quickly, he holds her and swims towards the yacht. The children pull both of them up. The family attends to Julia. But Julia tries to convince herself that it might have been caused by the waves. At night, everyone celebrates Ben's birthday together. Cassie gets a call from her boyfriend, so she takes her laptop and goes outside. On the video call, her boyfriend shows that large black clouds have covered the city. The call glitches and freezes. Cassie comes to tell the family about this, but Tom says that the signal is probably weak because they are far from the land. Just then, everyone hears a sound. They all go outside and see a pod of whales passing by. Tom explains that whales always follow the Earth's magnetic field, but when a storm comes, they get confused. Suddenly, the yacht shakes violently, and Ben falls down. Tom is worried that the yacht might be damaged, so he dives below to check. A little later, he returns to the surface, but he has a big wound on his shoulder. Julia immediately stitches his wound. Tom explains that underwater, he felt like there was a huge creature behind him, but when he turned to look, he got cut by the propeller. He says that whatever it was very big. Tom sees considerable damage to the yacht. Hence, they have to call for help. Julia repeatedly tries the radio. Cassie looks for a signal on her phone, but nothing works. Just then, Cassie sees a strange creature and screams. But it's just Ben, who is wearing a mask and joking around. A little later, the yacht shuts down completely and is stranded in the middle of the ocean. Julia hears a voice on the radio, but the voice is so distorted that she can't understand anything. Tom tells the family that they only have 4 days' worth of food and water left, and now they will have to wait for a fishing boat. Suddenly, something is detected on the radar, and the family hears a strange sound. Everyone runs outside and sees in amazement that many meteors are falling to the ground. Wherever the meteors fall, there are loud explosions. A meteor falls into the water near them, so Tom immediately tries to start the yacht. The engine barely starts, but then another meteor hits the area. The family holds each other tightly out of fear. Then Tom realizes that the fireballs falling are not meteors, but satellites. At the same moment, Ben sees smoke coming out of the yacht. Tom checks and confirms that the engine is broken. The wind starts getting strong, so the family hides inside the yacht. Without noticing that the compass is spinning very fast, the yacht starts shaking violently. Ben falls again, and this time he also gets hurt. Waves are hitting the yacht rapidly. Tom struggles to go outside and brings life jackets. Just then, the power goes out. Tom immediately presses the power box button, and the light comes back on. At that moment, Ben notices that Julia's nose is bleeding. Julia starts feeling dizzy, while Cassie goes to the sink and vomits. Tom keeps trying the radio, but doesn't get a signal. Suddenly, a loud, high-pitched noise comes, and the wind gets even stronger. Julia tries to close the doors, but a hatch opens, and the wind starts breaking the windows. Tom lights a flare, and after a while, darkness prevails. The next morning, the family wakes up in shock that they survived the storm. But the yacht is half destroyed. When they come outside, they see that the seawater has disappeared, and the yacht is now stuck on the ground. Everyone is shocked to see this. The signal is checked, but the network is completely down. Ben starts playing with 2 dead crabs. Tom checks the compass and sees that it has flipped over. This last happened 700,000 years ago. Cassie thinks her boyfriend must be dead and breaks down. When Julia comes to comfort her, Cassie pushes her away and goes to hide. Julia and Tom check the remaining supplies. Ben ties his birthday balloons to a rock so that perhaps any remaining survivor might see them. Tom tries the radio again, and this time he connects with a man. His name is Naao, and he is the captain of a submarine. His submarine is also stuck on the land. He confirms that the magnetic poles have reversed, which is why the ocean has receded and the land has been exposed. He says that he hasn't seen any other survivors yet, and communication systems are completely down. He further says that the poles will reverse again, and the sea will probably come back in a week. He warns the family to climb to the highest place possible because when the water returns, it will be very dangerous. He says his partner died in the crash, and there is only room for 3 people in the submarine. Julia and Tom ask him, "Please, save our children." He gives them his coordinates. Tom calculates that it will take 2 or 3 days to reach the submarine. He tells the family to rest well tonight. They will leave tomorrow morning. The next morning, the family is packing their things. Just then, Tom sees something moving nearby. It is a limping man with a harpoon in his hand, and a dog is constantly barking with him. Tom goes to him and gives him a water bottle, but the man speaks in a language Tom cannot understand. After drinking the water, the stranger suddenly hits Tom's head with the bottle and kicks him hard in the face. Julia runs away in fear, but it is too late. The man has stabbed Tom's stomach with the harpoon. Tom writhes in pain for a few moments, and then he also cuts his neck. Then the man chases Julia and throws the harpoon at her, injuring her shoulder. Julia runs inside the yacht, enduring the pain, and tells the children to hide. She locks the door. Cassie and Ben hide inside the couch. Julia gives them a flare gun and hides in the bathroom with a knife. The man pushes the door hard repeatedly and finally gets inside. First, he picks up some food and then starts searching inside the yacht. Then he goes towards the bathroom. But Julia cleverly slips out through a small hole. The man thinks Julia has escaped, but as she slowly starts to sneak out, his dog sees her and barks. The dog lunges at her, and Julia kills it with a knife. Hearing the dog's yelp, the man comes out and is enraged to see his dog's dead body. Meanwhile, Julia tries to enter the yacht from the other side. She climbs up and starts crawling through the broken window. But the man reaches there first. He catches her and punches her hard, due to which she falls down. Julia tries to hold on to the furniture to save herself, but the man kicks her and throws her away. Then he puts his foot on her wrist so that she drops the knife and then grabs her hair and slams her face on the ground and throws her onto the couch and starts strangling her. The children are watching all this. Cassie comes out and fires the flare gun, which hits the man directly. He catches fire, and the yacht starts burning. The children immediately run away, but Julia comes back. She kicks him down, picks up the map and bag, and runs away from there. Ben and Cassie go to their father and start crying. Julia also sits with them, and all 3 bid a tearful final goodbye to Tom. Just then, the scary man comes out of the yacht again, and the family starts running again. In a little while, The yacht explodes with a big bang. After walking for a while, they stop near a small waterfall to rest. Cassie thinks that maybe that crazy man came towards them after seeing the balloons. Hearing this, Ben starts blaming himself. Julia assures him that it was not his fault and asks everyone to move on because the man is still chasing them. On the way, near a small pond, Ben is surprised to see a dead hammerhead shark. Just then, Julia notices that the man is approaching them again. Everyone starts running and falls down a sand dune where they see toxic waste. The family crosses it carefully and feels they have shaken off the man. As they walk, they see big dead sea animals and all the plastic accumulated on the seabed. Ben starts walking slowly, and Julia understands that he is close to dehydration. She tells everyone to stop. When she looks at the water bottle, she is shocked. The water is almost finished in the bottle. Cassie realizes that she might not have closed the bottle properly. Julia screams in anger that the water is gone because of her carelessness. What difference does it make? We are not going to survive anyway. A long argument ensues between the two. Despite that, the family keeps moving forward. After a while, they find a crashed plane. Seeing something moving inside, everyone gets scared. But it's just some birds. The family decides to spend the night inside the plane. They share a little snack, and Julia finds a family photo in Tom's jacket, which breaks her heart. Cassie asks, "Mom, what was your and Dad's love story?" Julia smiles and tells her, "Tom was my patient in the hospital. Then one day, he expressed his love by giving me flowers and a sweet poem." In the middle of the night, Cassie goes outside the plane. Just then, the scary man tries to grab her from behind, but Julia suddenly pounces on him from behind and kills him by repeatedly stabbing him with a knife. Cassie calms her mother by hugging her. The next morning, insects are crawling on the man's dead body. The family notices that there are many bite marks on his body. This means a dangerous creature is hidden in this area. As they leave, crabs come out of his mouth. A few hours later, Julia and Cassie are looking at the map, but Ben slowly moves ahead. Julia shouts, "Stop!" But Ben bends down at a pond and starts drinking water. Julia immediately pulls him out and explains that unknown water can make him sick. The sun becomes very intense, so the family covers their heads with clothes. Ben starts feeling dizzy. Just then, they find some old chairs, and Julia and Cassie make a temporary shelter with them. Julia gives Ben an injection and decides that they will spend the night there. In the morning, Julia wakes up hearing a strange sound. She goes outside and sees a large swarm of crabs coming towards them. She immediately wakes up the children, and all three start running. While running, they see a big cargo ship. 3 crew members are alive there. A woman wants to help them, but the other 2 men refuse and lock the container, leaving the family outside. The crabs get closer. Julia helps the children climb onto the container. As she starts climbing, the crabs bite her foot hard. The children pull her up, otherwise she would have fallen down. Half of the crabs enter through a hole in the container. The crew members start firing, but the crabs overpower them and kill both of them. The last man reaches the hole in the roof, but the crabs pull him down too, and he also dies. Julia bandages her wound and passes out. After a while, when she wakes up, she finds herself alone in the middle of a sandstorm. She panics and starts looking for the children. She picks up a dead woman's weapon and screams loudly. Cassie comes back, hearing her voice, and tells her that she and Ben had gone to look for help but couldn't find anyone. Then they meet Ben, who finds an open container where they can stay until the storm is over. Julia takes out Tom's lighter and burns her wound to close it, which is extremely painful. After the storm subsides, they find another container with many water bottles. While checking the bodies, they also find a radio and a gun. Julia contacts the boat and says that the map is lost. Na'au tells them that they were attacked by arthropods. They are now creatures that have gone completely mad due to oxygen. Now Na'au tells the family to hurry because his instruments have calculated that the sea will return sooner than expected, and they only have a few hours left. He shoots a flare, and the family starts walking in that direction. After a long walk, the family finds a broken toilet where Ben urinates. Now they finally see the submarine nearby. But to reach there, they will have to cross a large rocky path. As they pass through the path, the walls start shaking and rocks start falling, causing a terrible rock slide. Julia immediately pushes her children to the side and also moves back so as not to be crushed. Now a stone wall has come between them. Julia tells the children to go ahead without her. But Cassie refuses and insists that her mother should try to climb. After much arguing and shouting, Julia promises that she will find her children later. Forced, Cassie drags her brother and goes ahead. The children climb the rocky path and run towards the submarine. But upon reaching there, they see that Na'au is lying outside, covered in blood. He explains that it is over for him, and now the children can take the submarine. Thinking there might be an extra spot, Cassie runs back to find her mother. Just then, Julia sees the crabs coming and starts firing. She kills some crabs, but the swarm is very big, and it becomes difficult to fight everyone. At the same time, Cassie appears on top of the wall and extends her hand, so Julia quickly starts climbing despite her injured leg. With Cassie's help, she reaches the other side, and both run towards the submarine together. Ben is already standing on top and opens fire to keep the crabs disturbed until the family climbs up. The crabs reach Na'au's body and immediately start eating him. Julia picks up the gun and continues firing until the children get inside. When they are safe, Julia realizes that the bullets are finished, so she throws the gun at the crabs and goes inside with her children. The family locks the hatch securely and watches the crabs surrounding the submarine from the window. At this moment, the sea returns, so all three immediately sit in their seats, fasten their belts, and hold each other's hands. Fast waves start violently throwing the submarine here and there, due to which Julia sees visions of the entire journey, and Cassie vomits. Soon, the high-pitched noise returns, and the family passes out. After a while, Julia and the children regain consciousness and are happy to be alive. They unlock the hatch and go out and see that the waves have dropped the submarine into a ruined city. This means there is now hope for survival and starting a new life. You must have liked this movie's Explained. Don't forget to subscribe to the Truth Nest Originals channel and press the bell icon so you keep getting such fun videos. Thank you for watching.